Your Honor, I represent Harrison Wright in MM 213516. The court's going to set release conditions on a DV bond case. We are asking the court to allow him to return to the residence with a no hostile contact order. I have the alleged victim here, his wife, Miss Nikki Wright. Miss Wright?
Hi.
Let me call the case first. Good morning, sir. Tell me your name.
Harrison Wright.
Mr. Wright, you're here in case 2021 MM 3516 on a charge of battery domestic violence. The judge signed your warrant. In this case, has already found probable cause for your arrest. Ma'am, give me hello.
Yes,
Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Yes, Nicole Wright, Wright. I go
Miss-
by Nikki.
All right. Ms. Wright, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Can you tell me how you know Mr. Wright?
He's my husband.
You can put your hand down, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And do you want to have contact with your husband?
I do, yes.
And were you the previous victim in all the rest of these domestic violence arrests?
Correct.
Did drugs and alcohol play a role in this incident?
Alcohol did, Your Honor.
And State, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Fisher?
You want him to be able to return home?
I do.
Do you even remember the events of that evening?
No. Mm-mm. We were both
Do
extremely.
you know if you were the aggressor?
I do not.
No other questions?
All right, Mr. Fisher, you're going to have to give me a little more than she wants him to return home.
Your Honor, they were drinking. She has no memory of exactly how it has all started. What seems to happen periodically is that she ends up attacking him, then gets him arrested, claiming that he attacked her, and then the charges get dropped. And that seems to be the pattern. But in this particular case, even her allegations that evening were that he's holding her down. So that tends to support that she attacked him.
The warrant says that he threw her on the bedroom floor, then pushed her face in with his forearm down to the ground. So I don't know if that's self-defense or, I mean, the DV cases are a little different. They're usually different fights than the normal fisticuffs, between people. State, what do you recommend?
Your Honor, there are two other domestic violence calls, not convictions, but arrests for the same victim. In this particular incident, there was, the officer observed bruising to her arm and her cheek, which would be consistent with being held down by a forearm. Your Honor, I would still go with no contact.
Mr. Wright, I'm going to set your bond. I'm going to give you the final word, Mr. Fisher.
Your Honor, the fact that she keeps getting him arrested does not mean anything happened. I mean, people are the victims of allegations like this all the time. Sometimes in relationships, allegations get made periodically, and then they go, oh, well, and they got him out of the house and because they were angry at him, and then they turn around and drop the charges the next day.
Yeah.
Right? He's not the aggressor in these incidents. Over and over again, she goes after him because she's angry. He restrains her or stops her from hitting him, and then the next day, she goes in and tells the state she wants the charges dropped. I understand the state may be frustrated, but ultimately the burden is going to be on the state to prove that he was the aggressor in this, or even what happened. She doesn't even remember at this point what happened. I'd love for her to be able to talk about what happened, but she doesn't remember. So there's simply no basis. I agree that she was held down, but there's no reason to think that he was not doing anything other than defending himself.
Well, I guess my job is to follow 948.046, 903.046, and setting release conditions for Mr. Wright. One of those conditions is that if this is a periodic thing that happens, why would I put him in proximity where somebody's going to call the police on him?
Because, Your Honor, it isn't something that's happening. It's something that she's precipitating. No crime occurred. In addition, I believe it's one call about every year. So it's not something that's happening frequently, but it is something that is happening in their relationship. But it's not him doing it.
All right, Mr. Wright, we're going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You're to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're subject to random drug and alcohol testing while you're out on release in this case.
Can I say anything at all?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else?
Yes, ma'am.
I am, okay. I mean, we both have stopped drinking. Alcohol has been a pretty large factor
Right.
over the last 2 years. It's been obviously a hard year for everyone, but I really want him to come back home.
Okay.
We've stopped drinking, and that has always been the instigator of any problems we've had.
Well, there's usually something going along with that as well, and people,
Well,
alcohol
been
usually
a
opens up
year.
doors and wounds that people don't want to, deal with. So it's something that you all, if you guys want to continue your relationship,
Of
that you
course.
guys get help, and if that's what you need. If not, then right now, Judge Shoemaker is the division judge over this case. He may feel more comfortable in his extensive wisdom to give you no hostile contact, but basically, no hostile contact doesn't work if you guys are having these. I don't want to see Mr. Wright rearrested for violating my orders for no hostile contact, even if you were the aggressor of the fight, which that would be a violation of my no hostile contact order. So I'd rather not see Mr. Wright here again for the same allegations, whether true or false. And that's the only thing I feel like it's an injustice to him. All right, sir, do you understand have any questions about your no contact order? Yes, I'm sorry, I'm going to get to that. No weapons, no firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Mr. Wright, do you have any questions about your no contact order? All right. All right, you have Mr. Fisher representing you. He's an excellent attorney, and he will get you in the best position that he can. All right. What is this? Okay. All right, everybody have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to an Econo meeting. You are entering the meeting now.
Figueroa. I need Joseph Figueroa.
You are the only participant.
Nobody's here, so I'm the only one here. Well, we gotta wait for,
Which case is being called?
say it.
Which case is being called?
Yeah, we were gonna call Joseph Figueroa because I got an email that he had a private attorney that wanted to appear virtually. So I'll pull his case out right now, and then when the attorney appears, we can address the case. All right, the first case I had, other than that, is Mr. Akers, and I'm not sure why he was here.
I'm not sure why he's back here either. I advised Judge Gibson yesterday that he's not on probation, he's on parole.
Right.
So that we didn't need to see him, but she stated that in the affidavit, there was supposed to be a charging affidavit for indecent exposure. So they gave the state 24 hours to see if the arresting officer wanted to add that on the defendant, I guess, but it's not added on.
All right. This is Mr. Akers, or, no, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, Mr. Akers, I don't need him, we're gonna send him back in a second. Mr. Akers was here for violation of parole. The parole board will have to take action on his case. I don't have any jurisdiction over him right now. Of course, not taking any action on any of his cases. 2017 CF 3218, 2017 CF 6793, and 2017 CF 7044 AL. And he has to be, all right. So I had Lynn, Aaron. This is Mr. Lynn. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Name is Aaron Lynn.
Say your name again.
Aaron Lynn.
All right. Mr. Lynn, you're here in Osceola County case 2021 CT 460 on a violation of probation warrant. The judge in Osceola County set your bond at no bond. Your bond's going to remain at no bond. I'm not going to take any action on your auto bond Osceola County case 2021 CF 2285. And we get you on to Osceola County probably sometime today or tomorrow. You have a great day, sir.
All right, thank you.
Russell.
You don't have.
Is this from this like later today? Who's this Russell? Oh, wait a second. I get it. That's a violation of probation because it said felony, so I was like, no, it's okay. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Aaron Russell.
Mr. Russell, you're here in a violation of probation case 2021 CF 3059 AO. Judge signed a warrant in your case, set your bond at no bond. Your bond's going to remain at no bond. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you in your violation of probation case. You have a great day, sir. All right. Let's see here. All right. Find this case. Oh, there's right in my face. Hello, hello. Yeah, probably. Well, it's weird. I had to call the interpreter first, and then if I had to add in somebody, it's like. Let's see.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Alan Figueroa, certified Spanish code interpreter.
All right, good morning, Mr. Figueroa. I need your help with one case this morning. Mr. Torres Medina, he's putting the headsets on. Can you see if we can make a connection?
He can hear me, Your Honor.
All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Jeffrey Torres Medina.
Jeffrey Torres Medina.
Mr. Torres Medina, you're here in case 2021 CF 11786 on a warrant signed by a judge finding probable cause for the charges of battery, felony battery, and battery domestic violence. Going to set your bond in your cases on count one, amount of $1,000, count two, $500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order, sir?
Duda y pregunta, no. Duda y pregunta del caso, sí.
Questions in regards to that? No. Questions in regards to the case? Yes.
All right. Well, questions regarding to the case, you're going to have to speak to your attorney about. Also, you're not allowed to possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription as a condition of your release on pretrial release. All right. Have a great day, sir. Mr. Figueroa, can you make an announcement in the gallery to make sure nobody needs your assistance?
Sure thing, Your Honor. A las personas que están en el público, ¿alguien necesita el intérprete de español? Levante la mano si es así, por favor.
I don't see any hands raised. All right. Thank you, Mr. Figueroa.
Not a problem, Your Honor.
Welcome to an Econo meeting. You are entering the meeting now.
There we go. I have Gordon. All right, this is 2021 MO 998AO. Mr. Gordon was reset from yesterday for behavior. Now you say he's in the hospital?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right. Let me check out Mr. Gordon here. Get out of here. Bad fingers. All right, we did review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for charge of open container. I want to set Mr. Gordon's bond amount of $50 and appoint him to public defender. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Andrea Anderson.
Ms. Anderson, you're here in case 2021 CF 11811AO on charge of aggravated battery with deadly weapon domestic violence and battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in this case. It did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in count 1 in amount of $2,500, count 2, $500. Condition of your bonds that you be subject to pretrial release supervision. You'd have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return to the shared residence with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about your no contact order, Ms. Anderson? You have a great day, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Joseph Figueroa.
Mr. Figueroa, you hired an attorney?
Yes, sir.
You know the name of your attorney?
Mayor Jackson with the offices of Corey Cohen.
All right. They were going to appear virtually, so.
You are the only participant.
Do you want me to wait for them, or do you want to proceed? It's up to you, it's your choice.
I don't know. I haven't spoken to them. They haven't visited me, so I'm hoping that I was expecting them to be here already.
All right, well, we'll pass your case for now, and then we'll try to get somebody on the line here. Hold on, we got somebody, maybe, possibly.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, there we go. I hear a voice, don't see anybody. Who am I speaking with, because I can't see you?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. I'm sorry, I'm trying to see why my camera is not on. This is Attorney Ginger Miranda, Your Honor.
All right,
I'm on for Joseph Figueroa.
yes, ma'am. All right, well, Mr. Figueroa is
think I
here.
figured-
I'm not sure if you can see him, but, all right, sir, oh, there we go. Well, there you go, kind of, sort
I
of.
figured it out, Judge.
There it is. All right, good morning, how are you?
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, sir, can you tell me your name?
Joseph Figueroa.
Mr. Figueroa, you are here in case 2021 CF 54730 on a warrant signed by a judge finding probable cause for the charges of battery, domestic violence by strangulation, and violation of a domestic violence injunction. And counsel, did you want to tell me anything before I set release conditions for Mr. Figueroa?
Your Honor, we're just asking the court this morning to set a bond for Mr. Figueroa.
All right. Well, I do have one question based on for the state of Florida, based on the face sheet I'm looking at. Are you going to file a motion for pretrial detention?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Figueroa, as to count one, the court's going to set your bond in the amount of $10,000. Count two, in the amount of $10,000. Condition of the bond, no contact with the victim. No weapons, no firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You must comply with the injunction in 2019, DR 665, where it also orders you to have no contact with the victim. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. Counsel, you want to add anything? Ms. Marin?
No, Your Honor. Not at this time.
All right, have a great day, sir. Thank you. Have a great day. Do you have anything else? You represent anybody else this morning?
Thank you. That's all, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
All right, you have a great day.
Have a great day.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Yes, sir. Good morning. My name is Michael Flanagan.
Mr. Flanagan, you're here in case 2021 CF 11831AO on a charging, you were arrested on charges of, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 counts of battery, 3 counts of resisting officer without violence, 1 count of uses injury to the health of the public, 1 count of battery by strangulation. Oh, sorry, more than 1 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 counts of battery by strangulation, domestic violence, tampering with a witness, false imprisonment, domestic violence, and battery on law enforcement, and aggravated assault with intent to commit a felony. All right. I did find probable cause for your arrest in this case for those charges. I'm going to do this. And count 1, your first count of battery, you're going to set your bond amount of $2,000. For the remaining counts of battery, you're going to set your bond amount of $100. For your count of resisting officers without violence, $100. Your nuisance charge, $100. Your first count of battery by strangulation, domestic violence, I'm going to set your bond in the amount of $3,000. Remember me? Oh, it's hard to keep count here. Yeah, the first strangulation. 3,000. Yeah, so the ones at the end are going to be 150. Because they're like they're 4 other ones at the end. Yeah. Gonna be 150. I don't know why they separated them that way. All right. As to your first, you're tampering with a witness through human communication, it'd be 150. False imprisonment would be 2,000. Your battery on law enforcement officer would be 150. And your aggravated assault want to set your bond in an amount of $3,500. Conditions of your bonds that you had no contact with the victim in this case. You must maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. State, were you asking for anything else?
No, Your Honor.
I'm
And Ms. George, there you go.
Battery by strangulations, the last 4 counts you said.
150 for the last 4. Yeah, sorry. I was trying to make it simple, keep all the charges together, but that one was separated from the other 5, or the other 4, I'm sorry. All right, you got any questions about your no contact order, Mr. Flanagan?
I didn't hear, I'm sorry.
You have any questions about your no contact order?
Not about the no contact order, no, sir.
All right. You know, your other questions about the case, you need to direct to your attorney. All right, you have a great day, sir. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Jerome Johnson, sir.
Mr. Johnson, you're here in case 2021 CF 11809AL on charge of aggravated assault, domestic violence, and battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in count 1 in the amount of $2,500. Count 2, $500. Condition of your bond that you have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at a shared residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also have 48 hours from the time you are released to report to the sheriff's office as a violent sexual predator or sexual offender. All right, you have a question? You can ask Ms. George because everything you asked me is on the record. Yeah, I'm gonna get this question answered first. All right, well, one second, you're not done yet, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, you're out on bond in case 2021 CF 7679AO for a charge of failure to sex offender to register or report. Of course, down following probable cause that you commit a new law offense while you're out on bond in that case is going to revoke that bond. Set a new bond at $0. You have a great day, sir.
Yeah, with this, I had registered on that. I still don't understand how I was charged with it, and I registered. And even people told me they didn't understand how the charge came up when I went down there. I just registered again.
It's a process that requires a lot of attention to specific details. I don't want you to talk about the facts of your case because what you think may have been the appropriate course of action may not necessarily have been so based on the way the statute is written. All right, so have a great day, sir.
So my bond revoked on that one?
Yes, sir. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name? Mr. Brown, you're here in case 2021 MM 57AO on charge of battery, domestic violence, and resisting officer without violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Good morning. My name is Rosetta Brown, Brown.
All right. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, ma'am. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Brown?
Brian is my son.
All right. And do you want to have contact with your son while this case is pending?
Actually, Your Honor, no, I do not. He's 43 years old. He needs to be in his own place because that's the only way we're going to ever get along.
All right. Did drugs and alcohol play a role in this incident?
Probably drugs.
Say, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. George?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, in count one, the court's going to set your bond in an amount of $1,500. Count two, $250. Sorry, count two, $100. I apologize. Sorry. Condition of your bond in this case is you have no contact with the victim in this case. You not return to the scene of the I won't give you a one-time return with law enforcement, or that you maintain a separate residence. So the one-time return with law enforcement is for you to get your personal belongings from the house. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Now, while you are out on bond in case 2019 CF 6368AO on charges of burglary of dwelling with. Did you file on these charges? Burglary of dwelling with a firearm,
I believe they were, Your Honor.
assault battery.
I believe they were, Your Honor. I'll just double check that one moment.
I just want to make sure I give him the correct bonds or revocations.
Yes, Your Honor. Charges were filed. It is now set for trial November 8th. Pre-trial is November 2nd.
You count burglary with assault battery there with a firearm. All right, sir. Court's going to revoke the bonds in 2019 CF 6368AO. Condition in those that you still have no contact with the victim, no return to the scene, the location, the weapons, no firearms. Yes, ma'am.
May I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
I truly believe my son's got a psychiatric problem, and I truly believe he needs some real psychiatric help.
Correct.
If he don't get it, he's just gonna not get anywhere in life. Instead of blaming me all his life for his problem, that ain't gonna happen. He needs to get some help. That's what I really need.
Yep.
Like I said, I was trying to get him Baker acted when I initially called the police. I wanted them to take him to some place to get some help.
Yep.
And they didn't do that, but that's, this is what happened.
All right. All right, ma'am. You have a great day. Have a great day, sir. Yes, ma'am. All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Dominic De La Rosa.
Mr. De La Rosa, you're here in case 2021 MM 6154AO on charge of battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case. They did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case amount of $250. Condition of your bond that you have be subject to pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to make sure you maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about your no contact order?
Actually, I do not. The only condition I do know, because I was informed while I was waiting, my employer, he stays in the same hotel as I do, as we did all together.
Right.
The GM is actually very close to him because he's been staying there for over a year. The case is she is actually being removed from that room where that had supposedly accusation had taken place. And it's in my name. It already has been in my name. And basically,
My orders are for you guys to maintain a separate residence.
Yeah, no, that's,
So that's,
what I'm stating is you were saying that I could go back one time with law enforcement.
Correct.
But it doesn't seem like it would be the case. I believe she would already be going to her father's. But yes, we would maintain separate.
yeah, well, this one, if you, want to caution you against, if she's still there, people are telling you this, telling you that.
No,
If you go back and she's still there, she calls the police, you're gonna be arrested, and we'll be seeing you very soon. All right? All right, have a great day, sir.
Looking at the next person.
Be ready to
All right. Yes. On point of public defender representing Mr. Brian Roman in case 2021 MM 6153 AO.
I'll waive the appearance.
All right, Mr. Roman is here on charge of battery domestic violence. I did review his charging affidavit, did find probable cause for his arrest. Going to set his bond in this case amount of $1,500. It's going to be conditioned that he have no contact with the victim in this case. He can maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give him a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items that he has at that location. He may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. He's subject to random drug and alcohol testing. He may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms he has needs to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name? Ms. Sanchez, you're here in case 2021 MM 6155 on a charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Ms. Davis. She wasn't interviewed, that's what it was. You have a,
Yeah, she can qualify.
all right. Ms. Sanchez is going to set your bond in this case in an amount of $100. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about your no contact order, ma'am?
No, sir.
Can't hear you.
Oh, no, sir.
All right. You have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you, you too.
All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Roberto Santiago.
Mr. Santiago, you're here in case 2021 MM 6149 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in this case. It did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Tanzania, Broderick.
All right. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Can you tell me how you know Mr. Santiago?
He was my boyfriend.
And do you want to have contact with your boyfriend while this case is pending?
Yes.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
No.
Did drugs, alcohol play a role in this incident?
No, sir.
State, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. George?
No, Your Honor.
Does anybody want to advocate for anything other than no contact?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I would ask for, based on the witness's testimony, and no hostile contact in this case. It doesn't, it looks like he has one battery, but I don't see any other EV-related cases.
Well, based on the affidavit I'm reading, there are other criminal allegations that are concerns to contain therein. Mr. Santiago, in this case, of course, is going to set your bond amount of $1,000. Going to come with pretrial release supervision. You had to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order?
Oh, Your Honor.
All right. All right. All right. Everybody have a great day. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Mariette Vincent.
Ms. Vincent, you're here in case 2021 MM6137AO on a charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in this case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. We're going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order?
So I have to leave my house? I don't have to go back to my house?
If you and the victim live together, then probably not. I wouldn't suggest that. You'd be in violation of my orders if they're still living there.
Since the lease is on my name, can I get an injunction for him?
You got to talk to your attorneys about that. I can't give you legal advice, okay? All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Good morning, Nyla Britton.
Ms. Brittany, here for a out-of-county warrant from Seminole County. The judge in Seminole County in case 2021 CF 2084 set your bond at no bond. Bonds remain at no bond until we get you over to Seminole County. We want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name? All right, I need you to slide in front of a mic, please. Thank you.
All right.
Go ahead.
Hello, Cardona.
Mr. Cardona, you're here in case 2000. Sorry, this is a Polk County case. I had a case number. Hold on. 1 second. There you go. Mr. Cardona, you're here in Polk County case 2014 CF 3203 for a violation of probation warrant signed by a judge setting your bond at no bond. Your bond is going to remain at no bond in this case until we get you over to Polk County. We're going to appoint a public defender to represent you till that time happens. You have a great day, sir.
Your Honor, right there is Emmanuel.
I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent Mr. Rydell.
I'll waive the appearance.
Mr. Rydell is here in case 2020 MM 3944 from Lake County. The judge in Lake County set his bond at no bond. It's going to remain his bond at no bond until we can get him on to Lake County. Not going to take any action on his open case here, 2021 CF 8145 AO. All right, and Skiles bonded. Who's this? Oh, somebody asked George Skiles?
Yes, sir.
All right, tell me your name, sir.
How you doing?
Can you tell me your name?
George Sykes.
Sykes or?
Sykes, that's why I
Oh,
came
sorry.
here.
All right, sorry, Mr. Sykes. Mr. Sykes, you're here from a warrant, sorry, from Flagler County.
Yes, sir.
The judge in Flagler County set your bond at no bond on a motion to revocate your bond. Your bond's gonna remain at no bond until we get you over to Flagler County. We're gonna appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir.
Do you know how long Flagler County's gonna take when they get me?
I think they'll be getting you today.
Yeah.
Here today? Thank you.
Ooh. Just one, it looks like.
To my side.
It says, possession of cannabis and possession of, a driver license suspended, so 2 counts. And you had unregistered vehicles, maybe 3 counts. All right, good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Rachel Woodson.
Ms. Woodson, you're here in case 2020 CF 12464 AO, as well as 2020 MM 6342 BO, violations of probation. The judges in those cases set your bonds in the amount of $0 on your warrants. Your bonds remain at $0. You're also here for a failure to appear warrant in case 2021 CF 8611 AO. The judge in that case signing your warrant set your bond at no bond. You're arrested on a new law case in case 2021 MM 6145 on charge of resisting officer without violence and trespass in a structure or conveyance. They reviewed the charging affidavit in that case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond at count 1 amount of $500, count 2 $100. Condition you have no contact with your co-defendant in that case or any victims or witnesses. Want to appoint the public defender to represent you in all your cases. You have a great day, ma'am. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Robert Smith.
Mr. Smith, you're here in case 2019 MM 9911 AO for violation of probation. Judge signed your warrant in this case, set your bond at no bond. Your bond's going to remain at no bond as in this case. We're going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, sir.
I'm not on probation.
Say again?
I never signed up for probation.
Well, apparently you did, so that's the allegations on your warrant is that you never showed up to probation.
Yeah, I never went to a probation. Never signed up for probation on anything.
Well, I'm going to suggest you stop talking because you're kind of pretty much admitting to the violation.
Probation.
All right, have a good day, sir. All right, does anybody have anything else before we go into recess?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from potential.
And Ms. George? All right. Is that? All right, we'll be in recess until 1 o'clock. Yes. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
First name Edgar, last name Alvarado.
Mr. Alvarado, you're here in case 2021 MM6148AL on charge of trespass on school grounds with refusal to, after warning and disturbing a school, disturbing a school, religious, or other assembly. I reviewed the charging affidavit in this case. I did find probable cause for the trespass, but as to disturbing a school, religious, disturbing a school, religious, or other assembly, it was kind of hard to find the probable cause on that one.
Your Honor, it did state that I believe the soccer game was delayed approximately 15 minutes due to Edgar refusing to leave the field.
There's some case law surrounding this charge that essentially says there has to be some kind of, that's a disturb a school function. So it has to actually, he has to intend to do so. Usually intent is something I don't really look into, but based on the cases that have come out about that statute, the court struggling to find the intent other than him wandering out on the field. It's just like a lot of case law about fights and things like that happen at schools, and the fight disturbed the school and delayed the kids from leaving school. That's not what the court is really looking into as far as what the statutory structure of that crime is. So do you want the 24 hours to
No, Your Honor.
look at that case?
No.
All right. And do you have an offer as to, he can still resolve the case, it's up to him. You have an offer to resolve his cases?
Yes, Your Honor. It's a withhold of adjudication, credit time served, and no return to 6,000 North Lane.
And, Your Honor, it's not showing any type of criminal history on my sheet. So I would ask for a pretrial release, if he could be screened for pretrial release in this case. I have some concerns based on the statement that was made also in the arrest affidavit. So I would just ask that he's placed on pretrial release or screened for pretrial release.
Yes, Ms. Davis, we qualify for pretrial release? I don't see any criminal history.
Yeah, based on his history.
All right, Ms. Alvarado, I'm going to put you on straight pretrial release in this case. Condition your pretrial release. No return to the scene of the location where this incident happened. So don't go back to the school. May not have any contact with any victims or witnesses from this case. If you are seeing a mental health provider, I'm going to order that you maintain your mental health appointments. You take any mental health medications that is prescribed to you in the dosage that's prescribed, as if you are taking those medications. You may not possess or consume any other drugs or alcohol while you're out on release. You understand that?
Sir.
All right, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir. I'm sorry, I'm going to count too.
Your Honor, could you also say no firearms or ammo?
All right, no possession, no weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms he has needs to be returned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release.
Thank you.
If he is taking any, keep his mental health appointments if he has any, and if he is taking any mental health medications, that he take them in the dosage that's prescribed. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Yana Ariel Hudson Reynolds.
Say your name again.
Yana Ariel Hudson Reynolds.
Mr. Reynolds, you here? Is it Henson Reynolds?
Hudson.
Hudson Reynolds.
As one.
All right, sorry. Ms. Hudson Reynolds, you're here in case 2021 MM393AA on charge of trespass on a structure other than a structure of conveyance, refusal to leave. Did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Was there an offer for Ms. Hudson Reynolds to resolve her case?
Adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to the Save-A-Lot at 823 East Cimarron Boulevard.
Ms. Hudson Reynolds, do you want to accept the offer from the state of Florida to resolve your case today?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, none but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
And put your hand down. Ma'am, we're here in case 2021 MM393AA on charge of trespass other than a structure or conveyance, refusal to leave. That is a first-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve this case with the state? you understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're gonna waive all the rights outlined on the plea form that's in front of you?
Sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
Sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
Sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
Sir.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Sir.
I did have an opportunity to review your charging affidavit in this case. I did find a factual basis contained therein. I accept your plea of no contest, finds your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I want to adjudicate you guilty of the charge, give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. Court costs and cost of prosecution in this case are $273. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You have a great day, ma'am. As long as you don't have anything else holding you. I'll just sign everything in the end. That's it. Yes, yeah, stack whatever I gotta sign. Here. We're gonna get distracted when I try to sign and talk. All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name? Mr. Fain, you're here in case 2021 CF 8774AO on a charge of a failure to register as a sex offender. The judge signing your warrant in this case has already found probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $2,500. Condition of your bond is you have 48 hours to, once you leave the Orange County Jail, to report to the sheriff's office as a violent sexual predator or sexual offender. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you. You have a great day, sir. All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Peter Scortino.
Mrs. Sportino, you're here in case 2021 CF 11818AO on a charge of exposing a minor to harmful movies, lewd and lascivious exposition by a person in 17 years or older, and lewd and lascivious conduct by a person 17 years or older. I did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in each one of your matters in amount of $10,000. Condition of your bond that you had no contact with the victim or the victim's family, that you not have any unsupervised contact with any child under the age of 18 years old. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And you have 48 hours from the time you are released from the Orange County Jail to report to the sheriff's office as a violent sexual predator or sexual offender. We're going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes. All right. I'm sorry, so I'm going from left to right. Good morning, good afternoon, ma'am. Can you tell me your name? All right. Ma'am, you're here in case 2021 CF 11823AO on charge of trafficking in cannabis. Afternoon, sir. Tell me your name.
Jason Yeoman.
Mr. Yeoman, you're here in case 2021 CF 11824AO on charge of trafficking in cannabis, as well as 2021 CF 11825AO on charge of possession of methamphetamine. I did review the charging affidavit as it relates to both of your cases. Did find probable cause for both of your arrests as it relates to the same charging affidavit. I want to stay your bonds in both cases in amount of $50,000 as for your trafficking case. And condition of your bond, you have no contact with your co-defendant. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. And you need, yes, ma'am.
On Ms. Linston, I would ask that you consider lowering her bond amount only because she has no criminal history that I see listed on this form. So I just ask that you take that into consideration when setting her bond amount.
State.
I have no objection, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Ms. Lindsay, we'll set your bond in your case amount $10,000. Condition your bond be subject to pretrial release supervision, no contact with your co-defendant. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, and you be subject to random drug and alcohol testing in your case. Mr. Yeoman, in your case, staying your bond amount of $50,000. Condition of your bond that you, and going to stay your bond in 2021 CF 11825 AO in the amount of $1,000. So you get two cases, so $51,000 total bond for your cases. You're subject to pretrial release supervision, no contact with your co-defendant, no drugs or alcohol, without a valid prescription. Be subject to random drug testing by pretrial release in your case. Also, you need to comply with Florida Statute 903.046 sub 2 sub F. And whoever's bonding you out needs to file an affidavit with the court attesting that the funds used to bond you out did not come from a legal illicit source, including the crime that you are being accused of. I'm going to appoint you both the public defender. However, one of you is going to get the public defender. Somebody else is going to get something called regional conflict counsel because you have a divergent interest in this case. So at one point, you may choose to waive that interest, but right now, if you want to have an attorney that's looking out for your best interest and your best interest alone. Did I miss anything? Yes. Correct.
And Your Honor, is it the same funds verification for Jessica?
I can't hear you, sorry.
For funds verification, is it the same for both
Yes,
of
ma'am.
them? Both?
For both.
Okay.
I don't understand what this means.
All right, everybody have a great day. Looks like you have a question.
I think he doesn't understand what.
I just don't understand. I'm
All right, go ahead.
The
Which
fund
part?
verification,
The fund
all
verification
this
part,
stuff,
Your
I
Honor.
don't understand what.
All right, so your bond on one of your cases is $50,000. Bond on the other case is $1,000.
10% of that from what I understand, right?
Correct.
Okay, so.
That bond premium, that percentage, which is probably somewhere between 5,500, like somewhere between $5,000, a little bit more than that,
Yeah.
needs to be verified that whoever's getting that money from, whoever they're getting it from, your mom, your dad, uncle, whoever, is not using that money, is not drug money.
No, yeah, I have in my bank account with actually a check that it came from verified from, the check just cleared today.
Yeah.
Should be just cleared, so yeah.
All right, sounds good to me. If you got the funds that came from your bank account, looks like you have a job, looks like Ms. Lindsay doesn't, so.
Yeah, it's my wife, she stays home and takes care of the kids and stuff,
Yeah.
you know?
So wherever funds are being used, it needs to come from.
Okay, I can prove it.
Yep, so that's good.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and now we're down to Spanish.
Good afternoon. This is Dalia Romero, Spanish interpreter on the line, already sworn in today.
Good afternoon, Ms. Romero. This is Judge Bain calling from the BRC. I have a defendant at my podium with the headsets on. Can you see if you can make a connection?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Hey.
You can hear the interpreter, Your Honor.
All right, sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Derek Bonnet Rodriguez.
Eric Bonnet Rodriguez.
Mr. Bonnet Rodriguez, you're here in case 2021 CF 11819AO on charges of destruction of evidence and possession of drug paraphernalia. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case. They find probable cause for your arrest. Want to stay your bond account one, amount of $1,000. Count two, $100. Condition your bond, no return to the scene of the location. Not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're subject to random drug testing, and you're not allowed to associate yourself with known drug dealers or drug users. Do you actually enroll in this? This is a PTD 2?
Yes, Your Honor. He did that May 25th, and I believe he made PTD check-in September 9th.
What do you want me to do as to that case?
Sé que lo engloben, lo pongan juntos.
Can it be put on global altogether?
Not yet. That may happen in the future, but right now we're talking about your release conditions at the moment.
Your Honor,
Va a ser
I'm
liberado
fine if the
hoy.
Hold on, hold on.
I'm fine if the court takes no action, Your Honor.
All right, 2021 CF 10967. The court's not going to take any action as to that case. Going to appoint the public defender in your other case. You have a great day, sir.
Mira, y va a ser libertado hoy.
So would I be able to get out today?
If you can post bond, have a great day. If you can post bond, you can get out.
Fianza.
$1,100.
La fianza. Dile que yo no tengo $1,100.
I do not have $1,100.
Well, you can talk to a bondsman. So maybe somebody can help you out with that. All right, have a great day.
Y
Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Pero
CO, are you able to put the microphone a little bit closer to him? The interpreter can't hear him. Repeat.
Pero
Pedro, Your Honors, all the interpreter can understand.
Mr. Pop, you are here in case 2021 CF 11778 AO on charge of battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting officer without violence, and battery on a uniform licensed security officer. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest as to those charges. Going to set your bond in count one, amount of $1,000. Count two, $100. Count three, $500. Additionally, your bond, not allowed to return to the scene of the location. May not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug testing. May not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, sir.
He does have an immigration.
Looks to me you may have a detainer from Immigration and Customs Enforcement. You got to talk to an agent from that agency before you're allowed to be released. But I don't work for the federal government, so I don't know when or how that's going to happen. All right, you have a great day, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. All right, am I doing arraignments? Okay. Yep, that's fine. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Noboa Reyes.
Mr. Noboa Reyes, you're here in case 2020 CT 358AA on a charge of driving license suspended. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Say was an offer for Mr. Noboa Reyes to resolve his case.
Adjudication of guilt and credit time served.
Yeah.
Mr. Noboa Reyes? Yeah, I see this fraction case. Oh. Mr. Noboa Reyes, if you resolve your case with the state of Florida, I will also dismiss these trafficking tickets that you picked up at the same time. Did you want to do that?
Okay, yeah.
Your Honor, was that the last?
I'm sorry. Oh, God.
the
Yep.
Interpreter? Okay. I didn't want to hang up.
I do have one person in my audience. I don't know if she needs the services of a Spanish interpreter. Could you request? Oh, she's shaking her head no, so I guess not. All right, thank you, Madam Interpreter.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Thought you just wanted to join our courtroom this afternoon. Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor, he would like to take the offer.
All right, sir, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, none but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, put your hand down. Sir, you're here on that charge, 2020 CT 358AA. That's a driving license suspended charge. It's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that a plea in this case can be used against you at a later date to enhance your sentencing up to a third-degree felony?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. What plea you want to enter on behalf, what plea you want to enter in this case?
No contest.
Do you understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights outlined on a piece of paper in front of you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, medication?
No, Your Honor.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea? Has anybody forced you, threatened you, or coerced you to
No,
enter
Your
this
Honor.
plea? You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I did, well, we had the traffic tickets. I did find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I'm going to accept your plea of no contest, find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty of the charge and give you credit for the, this is a notice up here, so you have any credit?
It'll just be 1 day.
Okay, 1 day in the Orange County Jail with 1 day credit time served. The cost of prosecution in this case are $306. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. I'm going to dismiss 2020 TR 3941AA as well as 2020 TR 3942AA as part of the plea negotiations in this case. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Carlos L. Vasquez Colon.
What happened to Cabrera? All right. This is 2021 MM5615AO. Mr. Cabrera, he's represented by the Public Defender's Office. He's here for arraignment. Do you want to waive?
I'll waive and enter plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
All right, we'll set him for Division 62 for pretrial and trial.
Division 62 pretrial conference, September 27th at 9 a.m. and 9B.
All right. And then Arthur Gray. All right, this case 2021 MO. Sorry. 2021 MO 5872 AO. Mr. Gray is represented by the Public Defender's Office.
I'll waive and enter plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
All right, we'll set him for pretrial in Division 61.
Division 61 pretrial conference, October the 1st at 9 a.m. and 6B.
I have Molly Hunt. The 2021 MM5549 AO. She's also represented by the Public Defender's Office.
I'll waive and enter plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
We'll set her for Division 62 for pretrial.
Division 62 pretrial conference, September the 27th at 9 a.m. and 9B.
All right. And this is Mr. Novoa. All right. Mr. Novo Anyende. I hope I said that correctly. This case 2021 MM5622AO, represented by the Public Defender's Office.
I'll waive and enter plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
All right, we'll set him for a pretrial in Division 62.
Division 62 pretrial conference, September the 27th at 9 a.m. and 9B.
All right, then I had Emmanuel Strickland, case 2021 MM5124AO. All right, he's represented by the Public Defender's Office.
I'll waive and enter plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
All right, we'll set him for Division 84.
Division 84 pretrial conference, October the 18th at 9 a.m. and 4B.
All right. The last one I had was Carlos Vasquez Colon. All right, well, his attorney's not here. All right, Mr. Colon, Vasquez Colon, can you step back for a moment for a second? Can you email Teresa and ask her if she can get somebody from RCC on the video chat? We may want to take Mr. Vasquez Colon back because we're gonna try to get your attorney on the phone so we can deal with your case. All right, we can keep rolling with Mr. Barnes when you guys are ready. Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Joshua Barnes.
Mr. Barnes, you're here in case 2021 MM 6144 AO on charge of trespass on property other than structure or conveyance. Did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. State was an offer to resolve Mr. Barnes' case.
Adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to the Marriott at 400 West Livingston Street.
All right, Mr. Barnes, do you want to accept the state's offer of adjudication of guilt, credit time, sir?
You want to take the offer?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, none but the truth, so help you God? Can you hear me, or?
No, sorry, I didn't hear you.
All right, you having problems hearing me, or am I?
Oh, no, I'm just kind of nervous. So
All right.
I didn't hear what
Just don't need to be nervous. Just focus on what I'm saying. You raise your right hand. Listen to what I'm saying. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, none but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Sir, you're here in case 2021 MM 6144 AO on charge of trespass on property other than a structure and conveyance. That is a first-degree misdemeanor. The maximum penalties for that are 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve this case today?
No contest.
Contest.
Do you understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights outlined on the plea form that's in front of you?
All the rights we talked about. You got to give them up, remember?
You having problems reading it? Do you understand that you don't? All right, listen to me. I'll go over it with you. You understand you're waiving the right to have a trial in this case?
Yes.
Do you understand you're waiving the right to have an attorney appointed to represent you at that trial?
Yes.
You understand you're waiving your right to challenge the state's evidence, call witnesses on your behalf, and question the state's witnesses. Do you understand?
Yes.
If there was a witness you wanted to call and that witness did not want to show up to court, the court can use a subpoena power to make that witness appear. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand you're waiving your right to remain silent?
Yes.
You understand you're waiving your right to appeal any errors in this case, except the court's jurisdiction over you and the sentence I'm going to impose.
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes.
I did have an opportunity to review your charging affidavit in this case. I did find a factual basis contained therein. I want to accept your plea of no contest, find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I want to adjudicate you guilty of the charge. I'll give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. Court costs and cost of prosecution in this case are $273. I want to give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You have a great day, sir. That's case 2021 MM 6143 AO. Mr. Bordas, want to appoint the public defender to represent him?
It wasn't.
You
It
want to
wasn't
try
an
him
option
tomorrow?
to resolve the case today. Your Honor, I'm not sure if he'll be able to come tomorrow.
We can roll to tomorrow.
If we can roll until tomorrow, yes, Your Honor.
Or has he been screened for mental health pretrial release in the past? Yeah?
Yes.
All right. Is it likely that we're not going to be able to resolve this case tomorrow as well?
Oh, I don't know.
All right, well, we'll take a chance. We'll see him tomorrow. We'll roll until tomorrow afternoon. And see if we can. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it better in the morning for him or in the afternoon? Afternoon is better for him? All right, so afternoon will be. Yeah? Yes, please. All right, Mr. Cabrera is here in case 2021 MM 571AW. Want to appoint a public defender to represent him?
Your Honor,
Same thing?
no, I'm gonna waive because there is competency concerns. I tried to speak with him and
Okay.
he has concerns.
All right. And has he been screened?
I don't think so, yeah.
All right, well, let's try to screen Mr. Cabrera for, I did find probable cause for his arrest and trespass in occupied structure or curtilage. I did want to release him on mental health pretrial release in this case. If he does not qualify for mental health pretrial release, I'm going to set his bond amount of $50, condition that he not return to the scene, the location, and have no contact with any victims or witnesses from this case. No contact with any victims or witnesses. Yes.
His out on bond case?
Oh, no, sorry, not taking the action on his out on bond case. All right, got to sir, can you tell me your name?
Anthony Corsell.
Mr. Corsell, you're here in case 2021 MM 6142 AO on charge of possession of drug paraphernalia and petty theft. Did review the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. State, is there an offer for Mr. Corsell?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Corsell, I'm going to set your bond in count one, an amount of $500, count two, $100. Condition of the bond, should not have any contact with any victims or witnesses, may not return to the scene of the location, may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, you be subject to random testing in that case. You're out on bond in case 2021 CF 3568 AO. State, what do you want me to do with his out on bond case where charges are similarly the same?
I would ask that you revoke, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Corsell, I'm going to revoke the bond in case 2021 CF 3568 AO, finding probable cause that you committed a new law offense while you're out on bond in that case. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in your new case. You have a great day, sir. Sorry, we said the bond is zero. I don't know if I said that. I revoked the bond. Said it zero. Yeah, we said it zero. All right.
David Fairnew bonded.
All right.
Lamar Hawkins bonded.
Be a short time for him. Said, who else bonded?
Lamar Hawkins.
Hawkins? I don't have a Hawkins. Next person I have is Hill.
Okay. Adam Hill behavior.
All right. All right, so Mr. Hill, case 2021 MM 6151 AO on charge of trespassing occupied structure, refusal to leave. We're going to appoint the public defender to represent him. Tomorrow or?
Try tomorrow, Your Honor.
All right, let's roll him morning, afternoon for Mr. Hill. Corrections. He's a morning person, afternoon person, after lunch. Morning? All right, we're going to reset Mr. Hill for the morning, tomorrow morning. Hopefully he has a good night's sleep and he's ready to talk to us.
Welcome to an Econo meeting. You are entering the meeting now.
Mr. Jones? Mr. Brett's already there. Can we get Mr. Vasquez Colon back?
I apologize for my appearance, Your Honor. I was just alerted 3 seconds ago that I'm needed in this.
Well, usually, this is in jail arraignments. Is not usually we don't have you as counsel, so and we've kind of been getting a lot of arraignments this week, apparently, here at the jail?
I have no idea. Okay, I have no idea about any of this, so, okay.
All right, this is Mr. Carlos, sorry. Tell me your name, sir.
Carlos L. Vasquez Colon.
Mr. Vasquez Colon, you're here in case 2021 MM 5974AO on charge of petty theft. You're here for arraignment, so that's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that? That's the maximum penalties for the charges.
That was July 3rd. I've been here since the 29th, so.
Well, I'm not sure if Mr. Rhett feels comfortable resolving your case without speaking to you, so.
My only issue is that we had one of his cases, we had a case of his no info'd yesterday, or this morning, I received that there was a no info, and I was assigned to a new case this morning, just assigned. I mean, on a misdemeanor, if it gets out, I'm not gonna object to my client's desire, but I have no way of going over a plea form with him, et cetera.
Okay.
But I'm here to do what I can to aid my client.
All right, well, State, was there an offer to resolve Mr. Vasquez Colon's case today?
No, Your Honor, only because it's not part of my list, so I apologize. I
It
don't.
looks like it was transferred from a felony case, well, that's the notes I have here.
5974 is the correct number?
Yeah, 5974AO is the misdemeanor case, 2021 MM 5974AO. Yes, ma'am.
I just pull up the misdemeanor case then, 2021 MI 5974. Yeah, because we just got this. I haven't even looked at this. Yeah, it's an information filed direct from a CF. I mean, I guess Your Honor's on misdemeanor, so you can't just take it is a misdemeanor. You could just make an offer from the bench.
Does anybody have any history for Mr. Vasquez Colon for me to consider?
Yes, Your Honor.
Figuring like.
He pled no contest to a battery. It's a 2019 case.
I'm gonna have to talk a little bit, like move the mic a little closer to you so Mr.
Sorry.
Brett can hear you.
He pled no contest to a 2019 battery, Your Honor, and he also pled no contest to a possession of drug paraphernalia, which is 2013. Those are all the cases that I see in Orange County.
All right. What was the last case?
2019, it was a battery.
All right, Mr. Vasquez Colon, if you want to resolve your case with the court will offer you a withhold adjudication of guilt and court costs if you want to resolve your case.
May I speak?
Yeah. Well, I mean, don't talk about the facts of your case.
Jail today, from my understanding, since there's nothing else holding him.
Yeah, well, that's what your attorney says. You had another case, there was no information, so that you're not being held on that case any longer. The only case that you have, I believe, left is this misdemeanor case if you want to resolve your case.
No, I want to speak about this, what you're saying right now, sir.
Yeah, it's the offer.
It's been since the 3rd. I've been here 56 days already. I mean, since the original time was July 3rd. I got here the 29th. I've been here 33 days, and
Right.
they just pressed charges yesterday. So it should be a motion to dismiss the whole thing, because
Why?
you failed to charge me before.
No, sir, as your attorney, I'm going to warn you, that's not how this works at all. That is a misunderstanding of how the law works on that. Especially, there is no time limit right now during COVID for them to file. So the time limit isn't 60 days or 33 or anything like that. That would be 90 and 175. But even on that, we're not doing that during COVID. So, sir, as your attorney, I would advise you that does not apply.
Okay.
All right. So do you want to take the court's offer of withhold adjudication of guilt and court costs? I can't hear you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? I think I lost Mr.
What's the
Verrett.
offer?
It's a withhold adjudication of guilt and court costs, but I think I just lost your attorney. So you have to.
No, you didn't.
Okay. Your video just went off, so I didn't know if you went away. All right. So there's a withhold adjudication of guilt and court costs. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. You want to accept that offer from the court?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Or you put your hand down. Sir, you're in charged in case 2021 MM 5974 AO by information with a charge of petty theft. The maximum penalties for petty theft are 60 days in Orange County Jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
$100 fine, yes, sir.
$500 fine. That's the maximum penalties. 60 days, $500 fine. Do you understand? Do you want to enter, Mr. Verrett, what plea you want to enter on behalf of your client?
I mean, I generally don't do that, but, I mean, my client, if he is going to plea, I would suggest he pleads no contest.
All right.
I would advise him to plea, and I would suggest he pleads no contest.
Mr. Vasquez Colon, do you want to plead no contest?
Yes, sir, no contest.
Do you understand by airing a plea of no contest, you're going to give up the right to have a jury trial in this case, where the state will have to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand you give up the right to have Mr. Verrett represent you at that trial?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you're giving up the right to challenge the state's evidence, question the state's witnesses, and call witnesses on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
If there was a witness you wanted to call and that witness did not want to appear, the court can use a subpoena power to make that witness appear. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you're waiving your right to remain silent as to this case?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand you're waiving your right to appeal any errors in this case, except the court's jurisdiction over you and the sentence I'm going to impose?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
I just got brain damage.
Say again?
Brain damage.
You have brain damage? All right. Does that affect your ability to think and understand what's going on around you?
Sometimes it just depends.
All right. Right now, is it affecting your ability to think and understand? I can't hear you.
No, sir.
All right.
I fully understand what you're telling me.
Okay. Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes, sir.
The party stipulate to a factual basis.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's
Based on that stipulation, the court will find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I'll accept your plea of no contest. Find your plea is freely and voluntarily and knowingly given. I'm going to withhold adjudication of guilt. I'm going to give you credit for the 34 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 34 days credit time served. The court cost of prosecution in this case are $273. This is a $50 public defender application fee and a $50 regional conflict counsel lien. I'm going to make all those calls payable directly to the clerk within 2 years of today's date. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You understand?
Sir.
All right. Have a great day, sir. Mr. Brett, do you have anything else?
No, but you're always welcome to call me and get me anytime to resolve any of my cases that quickly. I appreciate that.
No problem. You have a great day, sir.
Sure.
All right, so Mr. Jones was,
Oh, yeah, Deshaun Jones is medical.
all right, Mr. Deshaun Jones, case 2021 MM 6147 AO. He's supposed to be here on a charge of trespass on property after warning. They want to appoint a public defender to represent his case.
Can we try to bring him back tomorrow? He does have an offer to resolve his case, Your Honor.
He's in medical, you said?
I don't know.
We may not, it may be a while.
No, he's not restricted. He's going through the medical process.
Oh.
Yeah, so you may not see him for several days.
Tomorrow, yeah.
You here tomorrow?
He can be here tomorrow. He can be here tomorrow.
All right, so morning, afternoon, you be available? You be out of there? Morning. All right, so we set him for tomorrow morning. Judge Gibson is not gonna be happy with me. Yeah, appoint a public defender to represent him.
You got a returner, bonded?
All right. I'll bring her something nice to leave her on Thursday. All right, let's turn her bonded. Afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Zachary Bowen.
Mr. Bowen, you're here in case 2020 MM 991AW on a failure to appear warrant. Judge signing your warrant in that case sets your bond in the amount of $1,500. Your bonds remain as set unless the state had an offer.
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Resolve your case, which they don't.
Yeah, so all I do is post my bail and I'm good to go? I turned myself in, Your Honor.
Yeah,
Okay.
as far as that goes, I mean, it looks like you got things going on in several counties, so I hope you got a calendar of,
Yeah.
I hope you got a calendar of all the court dates that you got. You got 2 things in Seminole County, 2 things in Lake County, and you have quite a few things going on here in Orange, so
taking care of my matter.
Hope you got a Palm Pilot or something. Keep track of all your court dates.
No,
All right? Say again? No action, no, I can't take it, I'm not taking action on this case. I don't even know if he knows what a Palm Pilot is. All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Ozzy Robinson.
Mr. Robinson, you're here in case 2021 CT 5191AO on a failure to appear warrant. Judge signed the warrant in this case, set your bond amount of $250. I know the state hadn't offered to resolve this
No, Your
case.
Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Robinson, the state doesn't have offered to resolve your case. Your bond's gonna stay in the amount of $250. And I think plus you're on state probation, so you may not want to resolve your case. Did you already have a public defender in this case? Want to appoint a public defender to represent you in this traffic case? No. All right. Have a great day, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name? Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 1182129 AO on charge of trafficking 28 grams more of heroin, grand theft motor vehicle, and possession of alprazolam. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in count one amount of $500,000. Condition, and then count two, 150, count three, 150. Condition of your bond is that you have possessed no drugs, alcohol without a valid prescription, now operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. You also need to comply with Florida statute 903.046, sub 2, sub F. And the person who is bonding you out needs to file an affidavit with the court attesting that the funds that you were used to bond you out did not come from any illicit or illegal source. Want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir. All right, good afternoon, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Dorcetoya Freeman.
Ms. Freeman, you're here in case 2021 CF 11833 AO on a warrant signed by a judge finding probable cause for charges of trafficking of oxycodone with 4 grams or more with a firearm, trafficking oxycodone of between 7 grams and 14 grams, trafficking 4 grams or more of fentanyl, possession of methamphetamine, possession of cocaine, possession of oxycodone, possession of fentanyl, possession of a firearm in the commission of a felony, and conspiracy to possess a controlled substance with intent to sell and deliver. Judge in this case, set your bond in count one, amount of $100,000, count two, $50,000, count three, $50,000, and the remaining bonds are $100. Conditions that you had no contact with your co-defendants, not possess any weapons or firearms. Weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And you not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You may not associate yourself with any known drug dealers or drug users. Give me 1 second. Look up real quick. All right, looks like this is an overflow from your case you're already arrested on, the case 2021 CF 11732 AO, so the court doesn't have jurisdiction to take action on that case. We want to appoint a public defender to represent you in your case. You have a great day, ma'am. Oh, shoot. Grab her back real quick. No, sorry. Yeah. Ms. Freeman, can I grab her? Sorry. Sorry about it, Ms. Freeman. Also, as well, whoever's going to bond you out in this case is going to have to comply with Florida statute 903.046 sub 2 sub F, and the funds used to bond you out need to not come from file an affidavit with the court testing that the funds used to bond you out did not come from an illegal source or any illegal illicit activity, including the charge you're being charged with. All right, you have a great day, man. afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Ramel Alexander Gray.
Mr. Gray, you're here in case 2021 CF 11828 AO on charges of possession of fentanyl and possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of cannabis. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in count one in the amount of $500. Your remaining bonds in the amount of $100 apiece. Condition of bond: no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You may not associate yourself with any known drug dealers or drug users, and you'll be subject to random drug testing in this case. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, sir. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Yes, good afternoon. My name is David Gregory Hollum, sir.
All right, Mr. Hollum, you're here in case 2021 CF 11784 AO on charge of possession of a firearm by convicted felon. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case in about $5,000. Condition of bond is you not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You're also out on bond in case 2021 CF 4080 AO on charges of shooting into a dwelling, structure, or vehicle. Court finding probable cause to commit a new law offense while you're out on bond in this case is going to revoke that bond, set a new bond at $0. Give me 1 second just to make sure of something. Correct. All right, have a great day, sir. All right, check out one thing. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Dante Howell.
Mr. Howell, you're here in case 2021 CF 11821 AO on charge of possession of Xanax and possession of drug paraphernalia. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case. It did find probable cause for your arrest. All right. Mr. Howell, I got a question for you. Are you going back to California or are you staying here in Florida?
I'm staying here in Florida.
All right. Do you have an address in Florida you're going to be living at?
Yes.
Do you know the address? Do you know it?
Yes.
Was he able to provide an address to you all? Because I have.
It says defendant declined to provide.
Well, do you know the address that you can provide to the court right now?
Yes. 12326 Holly Jane Court.
All right. If you once he provides the address, can I put him on PTR or? Can I put him on PTR since you have an address for him locally?
Yeah, is that Orlando?
Yes.
Now, all right.
South Chase. It's the same thing, right?
Well, yeah, it's in Orange County.
Yes.
South Chase is on OBT, out by Deerfield. Yes, ma'am. Yep. Yes. I got two. You need two? Okay. One for the state, one for the court. Change the address, please. All right. All right, Mr. Howell, we're going to release you on pretrial release in this case. Condition of your pretrial release: may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're subject to random drug testing in this case. We're going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You may also not associate yourself with any known drug dealers or drug users. All right. It's fine. No, just let him fill it out. It's fine. We're going faster than I thought. We still should be done well before time.
It's either 6 or 4, I'm not sure.
Every day, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Elijah Martinez.
What happened to Mr. Jarrett?
Medical.
All right. This case 2021 CF 532BO. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Jarrett.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Jarrett is here on a charge of grand theft motor vehicle. Judge signed the warrant, has already found probable cause. Let's stay his bond amount $3,500. No contact with the victims, no contact with any witnesses, no return to the scene. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, no weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms he has needs to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. All right, tell me your name one more time.
Elijah Martinez.
Thank you, sir. Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 11794AO on charge of shooting into an occupied vehicle and aggravated assault with a firearm. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in count 1 in the amount of $50,000, count 2 in the amount of $25,000. Condition of the bond, no return to the scene of the location. No contact with any victims or witnesses. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no victims and witnesses. Or possible co-defendants as well, I mean. Yeah. Because can't believe that's the only thing they charged that dude with. All right, good afternoon, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Tori. I have a nickname.
Can you?
My name is Tori.
I'm sorry, like this, I have a big vent here. I really can't hear what you're saying, ma'am. I'm sorry.
My name is Tori.
All right. What's your last name?
My last name is Miley.
All right. Is it Miley or Mile?
Miley.
All right. Ms. Miley, here in case 2021 CF 11804AO on charge of aggravated assault with a weapon. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest.
I didn't have a weapon.
Wait. Hold on. I understand. Well, one of like popular belief, my role right now is just to set release conditions for you. And I'm trying to figure out if Ms. Davis, she doesn't have any real criminal history. It's just trying to figure out some information here. And she has an address. And you have a phone number you can provide to to pretrial release?
Yes.
All right. All right. Ms. Davis. What do you think? What do you think? Yeah, all right. All right, Ms. Miley, I'm going to set your bond in this case, amount of $1,500 is going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. Let me see, this happened. All right, no return to the scene of the location. May not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Say, are you requesting any other conditions?
Only because the face sheet says that there is history of alcohol abuse, Your Honor, I would ask for no drugs, no alcohol.
All right, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, all right? You have a great day, ma'am.
told you, I tell everyone.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Derek November?
Mr. November, you're here in case 2021 CF 11827 AO on charges of criminal mischief. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Must say your bond in that case amount of $1,000. Condition of your bond. No return to the scene of the location. No contact with any victims or witnesses from that case. May not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You're also out on bond in case 2021 CF 4293 AO on charge of aggravated assault with a weapon. Court found a probable cause that you commit a new law offense while you're out on bond in that case. Going to revoke that bond. Set a new bond at $0. Want to appoint the public defender to represent you in any case you're not already appointed. You have a great day, sir.
May I ask a favor, please?
See, I can't hear you.
May I ask a favor?
I want to have you talk to Ms. George because everything you talk to me about is on the record.
I understand. Thank you.
All right, Gathune, sir, can you tell me your name?
Emmanuel Jr.
Mr. Ortiz, you're here in case 2021 CF 11808 AO on charge of possession of oxycodone, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of a prescription drug without a prescription. Did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Ms. Davis, I got one question for you. Is this a VOP warrant that's open for him in Osceola County?
Yes.
Has he already been arrested on that warrant, or?
No, sir.
It was a hold, like they sent over a teletype.
Yeah.
On us to place a hold.
Okay, so you'll be sitting there tomorrow then, most likely. All right, Mr. Ortiz is going to set your bond in count one in the amount of $1,000. The remaining counts will be set at $150. Condition of bond, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You may not associate yourself with any known drug dealers or drug users. You're subject to random drug and alcohol testing while you're on release in that case. And I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you receive VA benefits?
I do, sir.
You ever thought about going to check yourself into the domiciliary over there?
I've been there before. I'm not too sure if I could go back.
Why not?
Because I've been there, I believe, 2 times. I don't know if that's. I tried to go back, but I got denied. So.
Well, you may want to think about it. You may want to think about enrolling yourself in Veterans Court. It may help you get some structure surrounding your time at the domiciliary, okay?
How do I go about that?
Well, you're going to talk to your public defender, like Judge Lattimore runs that Veterans Court 2 doors down. So it'll be something you may want to look into if these charges are filed against you, and even with your VOP charge in Osceola County. All
Yes,
right?
sir.
Have a great day. Order PCR? No. I can't. He has open case. Can you check this out? USDC file on it yet? Okay, check it. The MO, right now, you're on. It's open. It's open.
You're welcome.
Paul Quinones? All right. This case 2021 CF 11802AO. Mr. Quinones is going to appoint the public defender to represent him.
I'll wait it.
All right, we're going to set his bond in the amount of $1,500. Condition the bond, no return to the scene of location, no contact with the victims or witnesses. May not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms he has need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. I'm not going to take any action on this 2021 MO 949 AO case. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Say register.
Mr. Register, you're here in case 2021 CF 115300 on charges of aggravated battery on a pregnant person. They review the judge signing your warrant. In this case, has already found probable cause for your arrest as to that charge. Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Diana Liu, L-U-U.
All right. And can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, ma'am. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Register?
We were dating.
All right. And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
No.
Did drugs and alcohol play a role in this incident?
No.
All right. State, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. George?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Register, I'm going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $5,000, condition of your bond that you have no contact with the victim in this case. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Not allowed to return to the scene of the location where this incident happened. We're going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order, sir?
No, sir.
All right. If I can hear you say yes, no?
No, sir.
All right. You have a great day, sir. You have a great day, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Philip Jason Rivers.
Mr. Rivers, you're here in case 2021 CF 11820AO on charge of grand theft. I'm sorry, on charge of grand theft. Hey, check it. They reviewed the charging affidavit for your case. They find probable cause for your arrest. Going to stay your bond in that case amount of $1,000. Condition of your bond, no return to the scene of location. Okay.
What was the grant theft for?
It was at the Target on August 10th of this year. Target on 120 West Grant Street. Seems there was a Xbox wired control and some kind of looks like gaming system of some sort. G4, was it Terragon G4 Pro that was allegedly stolen. All right, so no return to the scene, no return to the target, no contact with any victims or witnesses. We're going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Terrence Roger Jr.
All right, sir, you're here in case 2020 MM1321AO on a failure to appear warrant. Judge in that case set your bond amount of $500. Bonds were made at $500. The state has an offer to resolve that case.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Your bonds were made at $500 on your failure to appear case. You were also arrested on a warrant in case 2021 CF 11587 on charges of aggravated assault and 3 counts. Judge has set your bond in that case amount of $1,500 on count 1 and $150 on the remaining counts. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. No return to the scene of the location. No contact with any victims or witnesses from that case. We're going to appoint the public defender to represent you in all your cases if you're not already appointed by or not already represented by another attorney. And looks like you got some kind of hold from Polk County, so we had to go over there and deal with that. All right, have a great day, sir.
Honor, Alberto Rodriguez refused.
All right, this is Mr. Rodriguez in case 2021 CF 114870. We're going to appoint a public defender to represent him in that case.
I'll waive the appearance.
Mr. Rodriguez is supposed to be here on a charge of, in 2021 CF 11487AO, on charge of attempted burglary of a structure. Judge signing a warrant in that case already set his bond amount $3,500, finding probable cause for that charge. Make condition not return to the scene of the location, no contact with any victims or witnesses from that case. All right, he's also here, that was it, wait. No. There it is. It was out of order. All right, he's also here in case 2021 CF 11817AO. Going to appoint a public defender to represent him in that case.
I'll waive the appearance.
All right, he was arrested for the charges of possession of fentanyl, possession of heroin, and possession of drug paraphernalia. They reviewed the charging affidavit. They find probable cause for his arrest. Going to state his bonds at the amount of $1,000 in count 1, $150 in count 2, and $100 in count 3. Condition of bond, no drugs, alcohol without a valid prescription. Going to be subject to random drug testing, and not allowed to associate with any known drug dealers or drug users. Seems like while all this was happening, this is Orange County probation?
It is, Your Honor, and they already did an on-view VOP.
They already did an on-view for him? All right, so I'm not going to take any action on his probation since I'll probably already see him tomorrow for the on-view or VOP or warrant arrest. All right, this is Ms. Rogers in case 2021 CF 11830AO on charges of unauthorized possession of identification card and trespass on structure or conveyance. They reviewed the charging affidavit in her case, did find probable cause for her arrest. Sorry, we're going to appoint a public defender to represent her in this case.
I'll waive the appearance.
I did find probable cause for the 2 charges she was arrested on. We're going to set her bond in count 1 amount of $1,500, count 2 $100. Addition to bond, she's not allowed to possess any identification except her own. And she's gonna not return to the scene of location where this incident happened. She's out on bond. And Kate, say, did you file all these charges in 2021 CF 6625AO?
No, Your Honor.
Which charge? What did we file?
I don't know that any of them were filed, but I will double check.
I mean, was this information filed yet in that case?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. It's recent. She just was arrested last month on the 21st. Yeah, she bonded out on the 21st of last month. All right, the court found probable cause that she committed new law offenses in those cases in 2021. CF 6735AO, of course, we're going to revoke that bond, set the bond at 0. And 2021 CF 6625AO, going to revoke that bond, set that bond at 0 as well. Going to appoint a public defender to represent her in case she's not already appointed an attorney or has representation. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name? Mr. Ross, you're here in case 2021 CF 1317AO on a charge of failure of you to the failure to, oh goodness. You're here in 2021 CF 1317AO on a failure to appear warrant. Judge in that case set your bond at no bond. Your bond's been made at no bond in that case. You're going to appoint the public defender to represent you if you're not already appointed. You have a great day, sir. I need some liquid. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Lenoel Velasquez.
Mr. Velasquez, you're here in case 2021 CF 11815 AO on charges of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, carrying a concealed firearm. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Seems like. All right. Going to set your bond at count 1, the amount of $5,000. Count 2, 150. Count 3, 150. Condition of the bond. May not possess any weapons or firearms while you're out. You shouldn't possess any weapons or firearms, period. I got 24 hours to turn over any weapons or firearms to law enforcement. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Not sure you're at infatuation with these things, but can't touch them anymore, all right?
Yes, sir.
Going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Tobias Bernard Watts.
Mr. Watts, you're here in case 2021 CF 11822 AO on charges of grand theft motor vehicle. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. 1 second. All right. All right, so what's going to set your bond amount of $1,000, conditioning your bond that you have no contact with the victim in this case, no contact with any witnesses or co-defendants. You're out on bond. For other driving cases. In case 2021 CF 5509 AO and case 2021 CF 5508 AO. Court find probable cause, going to revoke that bonds, but I'm going to give you new bonds. Hold on. As to 2021 CF 5509 AO, going to set bond amount $2,000, condition that bond, no contact with any victims or witnesses. In 2021 CF 5508, court is going to revoke that bond, going to set bond in count 1, amount of $15,000, count 2, in amount of $5,000. Condition of the bonds, do not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in any case you're not already appointed and don't have representation. State, got anything else?
Nothing from the state.
All right. Ms. Davis. To say. What's something about the sign?
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
on at least count 3, would you consider reducing the bond amount? If you read the arrest affidavit, he was very cooperative with the police, and my client is adamant that he did not know that vehicle was stolen.
Count 3? What do you mean
I mean, on The out on bond, I'm sorry. I put it as count 3 on my paper.
Well, it's,
I think you put 15,000 for.
that's on the out on
the
bond
out on
case.
bond. Yes,
Yeah.
Your Honor.
Well, tell you what I think. Why am I thinking of that? I don't think, based on his history, that it's a violent case. But it's another case where Mr. Watts is driving. I don't know if you got his license together, but you have just left here for driving a car, which is in a criminal offense.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand. It's just that the 15,000 is too high for him to afford, and he is stating that his grandfather just passed, and he doesn't have enough money to bond out, so he will be able to attend his funeral. So I just ask that you take into consideration, he was very cooperative with the police in this new case, and consider reducing just the 15,000 at least, down a little, Your Honor. He didn't run like the other defendant. He stayed,
Right.
he cooperated.
I'll set it at 10.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's as low as you're gonna get it. Yeah. You gotta talk.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, wait, hold on. All right, you got anything else, Ms. George?